Psst, psst. Hi! Due to the way YouTube works, I want to make a quick announcement before this video. If you like this video, please consider hitting the like button or leaving a small comment. It really helps. If you feel like helping even more, you can check my Patreon or Ko-fi accounts. All the links are in the description box. Thank you! Greetings! Today I wanted to take a curious look at two vintage sets of Cotman watercolor paints. I don't have a precise time reference for them, but that's not really what I wanted to focus on. I just wanted to test out old supplies and see how they are now. The first set is the oldest. It came in its original cardboard box. Inside, there's a red metal tin with white enameled interior, featuring 15 tubes of Winsor & Newton's Cotman range of paints. The set also came with 2 brushes, though I'm not sure they were the ones that originally came with the set. Everything here, tin, paints and brushes, was made in England. The tin cleaned up nicely and I was able to reform the brush tips a bit. Most of the tube paints are dry and solid. Only a few are still soft. Oddly enough, a lot of the tubes weren't screwed completely shut. That would certainly explain why they all dried out. The tubes still look nice enough. They aren't rusted or corroded through. I could open them up and take out the dried paint inside if I wanted to use the paint. Three of the 15 tubes are still soft enough that I was able to pour out paint. And one was not completely dried through, so I was able to get a bit of it out as well. I swatched them and they all came out really nice. I don't have any of the more recent Cotman paints in tubes to compare, but I was happy to see the nice, strong color that came out of these old tubes. They don't have pigment information on the tubes or the packaging, so I'm not sure which pigments were used for these colors. The brushes are made with natural hair and they are really nice. They hold a lot of water for their size. The second set is one that is fairly more recent. It comes with 12 colors in tubes in a sturdy plastic palette. There's also a Cotman synthetic round brush, though I'm not sure if it's the one that originally came with the set. For this one, all the paints were still nice and soft, and I was able to pour a bit out of each of them to try out. The only thing I noticed is that the paints had indeed settled over time and I had to try and stir them out a bit to get some of the pigment out. The colors were generally really nice. I was surprised to see some really nice richness to the paint for most of these. Also, since these had pigment information on the tubes, I went to Winsor & Newton's website and wrote down the pigments for the current versions of these colors. Many of these are no longer the same formula. A few of these were changed possibly for light fastness reasons, but others are just baffling. They changed their burnt sienna from the standard pigment PBR7, a brown pigment, to the much redder PR101, a red pigment, and a similar change was done to the burnt umber. The alizarin crimson was the genuine stuff in the older paint, while it's another pigment in the newer version. Overall, I'm happily surprised by the way all these paints behaved. I don't have modern Cotman tubes to compare, and I'd love to get to it at some point, but it's not a priority for now. These student paints, straight from the tube, feel like they all have more potential than what I've seen from the modern pans of the same range. I think something interesting to take away from this is that it's worth grabbing vintage sets you could see in yard sales or secondhand stores, as one never knows what secrets they hide. Thank you very much for watching. Take care. Bye bye. Before I leave, here's a reminder that I have accounts on Redbubble and Society6 for fun things like stickers and mugs, and also an Etsy store where I sell prints, originals, and handmade paints. Bye bye!